Okay, next up is Alistair Houghton, and Alistair's going to talk to us about Hull.
Hello, good evening everyone. I'm here to talk to you tonight about Hull. I'm talking about Hull, so I lived there for 5 years, working as a reporter and then as a business reporter, and I absolutely loved it. It's a brilliant place. But it's one of those loves that dare not speak its name, because Hull has a very bad reputation. People think about things like smelling of fish, deprivation, John Prescott, Beautiful South, John Prescott. That's a work of art by Bill Drummond, by the way, came from a road sign, hence the title, which has disappeared. Anyway, it all crystallised in 2002 when the island named Hull as officially the crappiest town in Britain. You'll see that quote there. Chocolate factories do smell of death, by the way, that is a fact. But otherwise, apart from that, it is all quite harsh, really. So Hull attracts a lot of people's very darkest thoughts. So I'm here today to try and convince you that Hull is a great place and is somewhere you should go. I'm helped by those top Trump cars produced by the Hull Regeneration Company. There's John Prescott up there, look at that. As a matter of interest, they were produced for a regeneration fair called Nippin in Cannes. And they all got taken away, they all got rid of them all. They were really proud and thought they were really brilliant. It turns out lots of London people were taking them home from Comedy Valley and handing them out in Islington. Anyway, that's the Deep. It's the world's only submarine. It's Hull's #1 tourist attraction. Everything you read about Hull will talk about the Deep. And you think it's overrated. No, it's not. You should go. It's brilliant. There's a lift through a shark tank. It's fantastic. You should go. The other thing I really like about Hull, though, is it's Old Town. The area around the train station in Hull is green, but if you keep walking, you find that. It's a medieval old town. It's a city that rewards exploration, really. You shouldn't just go to the Deep or get a ferry and drive through Ambient. You should look, that's High Street. That is a sort of beautifully preserved 18th century street. That's Holy Trinity Church. I think it calls it the largest brick church in Britain. Either way, it's absolutely fantastic. It's a wonderfully unspoiled street. There's also a street called Land of Green Ginger, and there's actually a house called First Star on the Left and Straight On Till Morning, Land of Green Ginger, Hull, which is a rather wonderful address. That's an area called the Fruit Market. It's equivalent to the Pier Head, it sits right on the bank of the Humber River with a big road in the middle, but it's derelict, it's half empty, and you can wander around there. There's all these wonderful old buildings, and it's just the most evocative area. That's a shopping centre called Prince's Quay. It's actually built on top of an old dock. It actually sits on stilts on water. I'm not sure whether I like it, but as shopping centres go, it's got balls. I think we can all agree. Yeah, so that's rather wonderful. As well, he says, definitely trying to find this good. That's my favourite historical place in Hull. It's a hole in the ground where gods hang out. But if you actually go and have a look at it, it's where the Civil War started, arguably. It's where Governor John Houghton, later executed, refused King Charles entry to the city, effectively sparking the Civil War. There's some wonderful pubs in Hull as well. That's me behind the bar. That bar is brilliant. It's got a walk-in fridge. Not for drinkers, obviously, because that would cause chaos, but there's a wonderful range of Belgian beers. That's the Old Black Boy, which is a pub almost themed around slavery, which sounds dubious, but it isn't. Places to eat in Hull, the Omelette Restaurant. Fish and chips, Hull is absolutely brilliant for fish and chips. Mr. Chu's China Palace, Britain's biggest Chinese restaurant, and John Prescott's favourite restaurant. He's really fan. There is also, there used to be a Ruby in Hull, which everyone always asks me when it's gone now. That's Hull's biggest star. I was going to try and I'll get people to guess who he was. The problem is I put the website address there. He's called David Whitfield anyway, and in the pre-rock and roll era, he was Britain's biggest star. First Brit to have a hit in America, 2 #1 hits, hardly heard of now. Hull's also produced The Fine Young Cannibals. Everyone jokes about them, but 2 US #1 hits, that's quite big. They also produced the Hull Truck Theatre. Philip Larkin, the Victor Meldrew of poetry, absolutely brilliant. And that statue there, which everyone in Hull knows as 3 tits and a cock. Hull's a pioneering city. I once had the joy of interviewing in Hull a chap called Professor George Gray, and he and his team pioneered LCD displays, the technology that we all use nowadays. Wonderfully unmodest man, unusual for a Brit. It showed him your mobile phone, he went, yeah, I did that. That television, yeah, I did that. The boiled sweet was invented in Hull, which is, fantastic thing, giving people something to suck on at night. Carry on camping. I wanted to use a picture of Barbara Windsor doing that, but I couldn't find it, so you can imagine that picture instead. J. Arthur Rank of Rhyming Slang fame, he was born in Hull, and Gerald Thomas, the director of Carry-Ons, was born in Hull. Hull has its own telephone network, it has its own white telephone boxes, because Hull still has its own independent network separate from BT. No one seems to be quite sure why, but it does. Very, very popular in Hull. Kingston Communications, the stadium is named after it. I have no idea where I am nowadays. Oh yes, the Hull Daily Mail. I found this wonderful old headline. Look look at that. It's that moon day morning feeling. The first day on the moon, that's what the whole Daily Mail does. It's brilliant. And the Berlin Wall is kaput, because putting things in inverted commas makes racism go away. And that's how they celebrate the opening of the Humber Bridge. It's fantastic. Humber Bridge, one of the best cheap experiences you can do. Get on the top deck, front seat, of a double-decker bus, and go across the Humber Bridge. It's just wonderful, even though you end up in Scunthorpe at the end of it. And finally, you always get a warm welcome in Hull. See if you can spot the sign. My final serious point about Hull is this. Everyone laughs about Hull, everyone says it's grim. If you go anywhere else in Britain, including Hull, and say you're from Liverpool, everyone says it's grim. Same thing, really. So you should be proud of where you come from. If you go elsewhere in Britain, be proud of Liverpool, but go to Hull. It's brilliant. Thank you.